Hello everyone, it's me, FelNE, and it's finally time to give our icy pangolin like Behemoth, Frostback Pangar, its long-awaited Behemoth breakdown. To begin, like any other typical Behemoth, Frostback will have an enraged and Aether Charge state. While Aether Charge, Frostback's stomps, tail slams, and rolls will be enhanced with icy walls or shards of ice that will rain down. As for its enraged state, Pangar will be much more aggressive and have one more move it can use in its arsenal. Another thing you should be aware of is the heroic version of this Behemoth will have ice spikes that will emerge from the ground every so often. A good way to avoid these spikes is to keep moving once you start seeing the ground start to rumble. Okay, onto attacks, we have roll. Slightly leaning back, Pangar will roll, crushing those unable to dodge. At the end of the roll, the Behemoth will have a few different options it can use. Frostback can slide on its body and turn around, slam its tail before reaching the player, or swing its body wildly around. Fortunately, you can interrupt the Behemoth to put a stop to its rolls, but be careful since being directly in front of the Behemoth can still be a little risky because of the tail slam that could follow up. Speaking of tail slam, this move has a standalone option as well without the fallout needed. If a player is facing the Behemoth, especially at a distance, Pangar can flip and slam its tail to smash unlucky players. Bringing its tail back, Pangar will make a wide swing with its tail. It's not too difficult to avoid, but be careful not to get hit as the tail comes back if you avoid the tail without dodging. When enraged, Frostback will twist its body and spin around its tail to push players away. Up close, this can be a little tricky to dodge, especially if you are directly underneath the Behemoth. To make it easier to avoid, I suggest you quickly step away from Frostback to give a little space so you have more time to dodge the tail. When in front of the Behemoth, Frostback will lower its head and then use its body to ram the Slayers. It's important to make sure if you are dodging not to get caught by its feet when dodging off to the sides. Lifting its leg up, Frostback will stomp the ground. This move is really straightforward and pretty easy to avoid, but be aware of the radius of the impact as it stomps. When close to the legs, the Behemoth will briefly pull a leg up and kick out to knock Slayers away. It's got a pretty short range, and if you space yourself on the sides of the legs, it's fairly easy to avoid. However, if you are nearby the tail, either dodge or stay out of its way, since Pangar's tail will slap the ground as it uses this move. Pulling its tail back, Pangar will fling shards of ice from its tail. While this move isn't very threatening up close, this changes if you happen to be further away. Fortunately, it's not the most accurate move, but I would recommend dodging the attack just in case. Stepping back, Frostback will unleash a frosty barrage that will slow players who get hit. Your best bet is to stick as close as you can to the Behemoth, otherwise you'll end up having to dodge a flurry of frost. If you can't get close, distance yourself from the Behemoth and get out of its range. Okay, that should cover up everything you'll need to know about Frostback Pangar. Thank you everyone for watching, stay safe, and I hope to see you next time.